Yeah, I think that there is a distinctive style because you can tell that all of the products relate to the horror genre. You can tell this through the use of the colour. The poster and the website use mainly bland colours such as blacks, whites and greys in the background, but they have a bold emphasis of red being used for droplets of blood. Also, the images of the antagonist on the poster have been made transparent and drained of colour, giving the character a ghostly effect which I was aiming to achieve to keep in tow with the subgenre of the supernatural. Early on in the trailer, the establishing shots are much lighter than the shots towards the end of the trailer, which is when the action starts. Despite them being lighter, some are in black and white, which keeps in line with the ghostly effect on Esther in the poster, and all use fairly dark, earthy colours, as the scenes were filmed in the park, which fits the bland colours used on the website and the poster. The images of the forest that are used heavily also have a recurring image of paths leading off into the trees. This creates a feeling of being lost within the audience, and also not knowing where the film is going to lead. The low angles that have been used also make it seem like it's from the perspective of a smaller person, making it seem like it's from the perspective of Esther, who's a young girl herself. The repeated images of the main character on the poster and in the trailer creates a feeling of familiarity for the weeks leading up to the film's launch. This familiarity also leads the audience to recognise the other products as being part of the same franchise. The other main characters from the film are also shown in the trailer, but not in the poster or the website, as the emphasis is on the antagonist, and we had intended for the characters to have bland personalities that didn't stand out from the crowd, making them feel like normal and everyday people, which is relatable for the audience. However, the trailer is inconsistent in that a different imagery is used. There's no blood scene, and the main character Esther is only shown briefly at the end. However, the trees in the forest are still used as recurring imagery, which keeps the iconography consistent. I think that the website that I created clearly targets the audience. This is shown through the use of technological convergence. It includes a trailer, a Twitter feed that has links of how to purchase film on DVD, and an audio soundtrack to the trailer. This means that no matter what the audience intends to find, there's something for everyone. Also, the multimedia used on the website makes it appeal to a more technologically friendly and younger audience. The fact that the film is aimed at a primary target audience of 15 to 18-year-olds means that they will be more likely to utilise the multimedia aspects of the website. This age demographic is one with the largest online presence and spends a great deal of time using social media. The fact that I created a Twitter account for the film means that I'll be able to attract a larger audience than I would if I hadn't. Also, the interactive nature of these themes means that the audience will be more inclined to see the product at the cinema on its release date, as they've seen the film on a poster, the internet and social media for months before the release. I feel like I created the website in a very obvious horror style, which would appeal to an audience less interested in the highbrow and more into the kitsch, as I feel in some ways it represents old-fashioned film posters through the use of a bold standout font and bold emphasis of red on top of the otherwise bland colour scheme. I think that the products work together in promoting the film in that they all use convergence. I included a link to the Twitter account for the film on my poster. The website includes both the trailer and the poster. In this way, each part of a product promotes the other, because through viewing one separate part of a project, you gain information about the other different elements related to it. This means that all the products have been promoted in the best way possible, and the audience can always access one product through another. Because of the continuity of the main antagonist in the poster and the trailer, this creates familiarity with the audience, which will then draw them to the website. The website also contains a making of the film section, which will make the audience feel as though they've been rewarded for being faithful to the project, as they get in special inside material that most people won't be able to see. I think that the elements that I was definitely most proud of were the aesthetics and design of the website. I think that it's very conventional in its design, while representing an alternative to the clean-cut horror styles that are mainly used today. I feel proud of a GIF that I created that was droplets of blood forming on dead leaves revealing the film's release date. I was also happy with my background image and choice of fonts, as I feel like it creates a good sense of continuity between the website and the poster. And in terms of the poster, I was proud of the transparent image of the antagonist that I created. It took me a long time to get it right, and it was a long drawn out period of trial and error, which I feel I managed to master in the end. I also like the actors' names at the top and the credits at the bottom, as I feel they bring the poster together nicely and don't draw attention away from the main image as they're very simple. And it contrasts with the main images in the poster that have several layers to them and lots of shading that look quite deep. If I could add one thing in though, it'd be a blue tinge to a transparent Esther to further emphasise the fact that she's otherworldly and not a normal character, and that there's something up with her. I was happy that the trailer defied convention in some ways, and that it hardly showed the antagonist until the end of the piece, and hardly featured any blood and gore. I also like the fact that we tried to create a backstory to give the character depth, even if we failed slightly in this, but I still feel like we achieved it slightly by showing her before the transformation into the main threat of the film. I like the opening scenes and feel that they set the scene very nicely, and the fact that you can't see where the path is leading to creates a sense of mystery that is also achieved by making Esther somewhat of an enigma by hardly having her featured in the trailer. I think that if I had to make improvements to one of the pieces, it would probably be the trailer. I feel as though the trailer is the weakest product that I've created. This is due to the pace of the trailer. It is not in a distinctive horror style and follows a slow pace, which does not create any fear and anticipation that horror is aimed to achieve. I'd return to the location and refilm extra shots so that we could include a wider variety of shots. I also feel like the piece lacked action shots, which would affect how large an audience the film would draw in, because an increase in tension, which is a fundamental of horror, would be useful in marketing the product. The main character should have been emphasised more in the shots and have had a more dominant role, as the three supporting characters are shown to a larger degree, giving them more screen time. I also feel like the shots with text over them should have been video footage instead of pictures, as this makes it look slightly cheap and breaks up the pace even further, with each slide lasting an unnecessary amount of time. However, this could be seen as a positive, as it creates a distorted effect of slowing down time. The text on these slides also serves to tell the backstory of the main character, which has not been explained in depth. We'd originally intended to record a voiceover and overdub this on top of the footage. This wasn't possible, however, as we ran out of time to create our piece. It also does not contain any obvious horror iconography, save for the scene where my character turns around and is revealed to have blood dripping down his face. I think that more obvious iconography should have been included, as some may not recognise the genre as being horror. I would have liked to include a shot of Esther raising a bloody knife, as a young child with a weapon is not a conventional image. Whilst I was pleased with the diegetic sound that ended up in the piece, I feel like the non-diegetic sound added on the as long as you live bit that's been edited in could have been done in a more professional way. And I also think that the soundtrack, while it's fitting to the concept, it seems a bit lowbrow and poor quality. I think that a better idea would have been to record our own soundtrack and use that instead, as an original composition would give the project more character. Due to time constrictions, we were not able to use the location that we'd originally intended, wanting to set the piece in an asylum type building as opposed to a house. Time constrictions also affected the organisation of actors, with several having to drop out and be replaced by myself and Beth from the group. I think that if we'd organised our actors better, the quality of the acting within the piece would have greatly benefited, as both of our characters seem a bit wooden. I think that my skills have definitely improved in some areas more than others. To start, I now feel a lot more confident using programs like Photoshop. Before the start of the A2 course, I'd never really used Photoshop apart from messing about on it, and I'd never used it to create a serious project. When we first started using Photoshop, I didn't know what any of the tools did. Even though now I still don't know how to use half of them, I feel a lot more confident with the knowledge that I've used the program to successfully create a poster. Trial and error was a big part of getting used to the program, and I feel like experimenting and just clicking on random tools to see what to do is the best way to get familiar with the product. Even though I required a lot of help from the web dev team, I feel like what they taught me has stuck with me, and I could now open Photoshop and not be dumbfounded. I also feel a lot more confident using video editing software, like Premiere that I used to create the animatic. Even if it took a long... Using this program was similar to the way I got to grips with Photoshop. Even if it took a long time, I feel proud that I managed to get to grips with it on my own, with minor help from teachers and other people in my group. I would now feel a lot more confident in editing video footage, knowing that I know about in and out times and how to add transitional effects, as well as importing audio to create a richer and fuller piece. Also, in the technological aspects, I have more experience filming and using equipment such as the boom camera. I also feel like I could set up the equipment on my own, which I wouldn't have been able to do at the start of the year. I feel like my research skills have also improved, and that I've gone more in depth with explanations on my blog, and particularly in this evaluation blog. Last year I included the bare minimum amount of work, but this year I'd like to think that I've gone beyond that. I can see the bigger picture in terms of substance. However, I don't feel like my time management skills have improved. I've always run out of time in tasks, and I've had to miss deadlines because of this, meaning I lost out on valuable feedback from teachers that I could have used to improve my work. However, I feel like I can pull my weight within the group and carry out what is expected of me to contribute to our work, whereas last year a majority of the work was left down to one person. I now feel like I'm more of a team player, which has built my confidence, and I can now handle frustrating situations much better. I don't feel like my organisation's gotten any better really, but I still forget to remember about important things like deadlines and bringing work to class with me, but for the most part I feel like the course has had a positive effect on me, and I'll continue to use these skills, and yeah.